Hey everyone! So you've probably heard this before, the whole A player, B player, C player thing, right? It's this classic management model for sorting your team. And for years, it's been a huge deal in hiring, promotions, you name it.
But here's the real question we're digging into today. Is this actually a useful tool for building a killer team? Or is it just an old, broken system of labels that does more harm than good? Well, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's just make sure we're all on the same page about what this model even is. Because, on the surface, it sounds pretty straightforward. Almost logical, right? A simple way to sort your team and see who's doing what. So at the very top, you've got your so-called A players. These are the stars of the show, right? The innovators, the big picture thinkers. The idea is you put a little bit of investment into them and bam, you get this huge return. They're the ones driving the whole company forward. Then you've got your B players. And honestly, these are the folks who are the real backbone of the company. They're reliable, they're consistent, they just get the work done day in and day out. The effort you put in pretty much equals the results you get out. Solid.
And then, at the bottom of this ladder, you have the C players. Now, according to the model, these are the underperformers. They take up a ton of your time and energy as a manager, but the results just aren't there. Sometimes, they can even slow everybody else down.
Okay, so A, B, C, it all sounds so simple and clean, doesn't it? But here's the thing. The moment you try to slap these labels onto actual, living, breathing human beings in the real world, well, that's when the whole thing starts to fall apart. You start to see some major cracks.
One expert had a brilliant way of putting it. He said, using this model is like combining a cardiogram with a horoscope. I love that. It's this perfect mix of trying to be scientific while also being, total guesswork. You're trying to make messy human complexity fit into these tidy little boxes, and it doesn't work.
And that's really the heart of the problem. This kind of rigid labeling system can be super destructive. I mean, it completely oversimplifies people, it ignores the context of their work, and it kind of assumes that how someone performs today is how they'll perform forever. It can even lead to bad hiring, picking the person with the most charisma instead of the best skills. And maybe the worst part? It can totally crush the morale of those B players who are actually keeping your whole operation running.
So, if putting people in boxes is the problem, what's the fix? Well, it turns out the answer isn't about the person, the player. It's about the system they're in, the environment that you as a leader are creating.
And this is such a critical idea to grasp. The very same person can be a rockstar A player in one system and a struggling C player in another. Just think about that for a second. Performance isn't some fixed trait. It's massively shaped by things like their manager, the team culture, and the overall work environment. There's this amazing story that just illustrates this perfectly, the tale of two hotels. So at Hotel A, you've got this barista who is an absolute superstar. Enthusiastic, amazing service, customers love them. Why? Because their manager is super supportive, always asking, how can I help you succeed? Now, take that exact same barista and put them in Hotel B on a different shift. Here, the management is toxic, always criticizing, and what happens? The barista is totally disengaged, just watching the clock. Same person, completely different performance. It's all about the system.
Right, so A players aren't just born. They're made. They're nurtured. We came across this great personal story about an employee who, in their first month at a new job, started pointing out ways to improve things. A bad manager might have shut that down. But this leader, they listened. They gave them the resources they needed. And that little bit of empowerment turned this person into a total game changer who lifted up the entire team. That's what great leadership does.
And this busts a huge myth about top performers. We have this idea that A players are these self-sufficient geniuses who don't need any help. But the reality? It's the complete opposite. They actually need a ton of resources and a really stable, supportive manager to lean on. Without that, they either burn out fast or they just leave. And you can't blame them. Okay, so this brings up a really fun thought experiment. What if you could actually do it? What if you built a team made up of nothing but A players? A whole team of all-stars. What would that even look like?
You'd think it would be a dream come true, right? But it could really go one of two ways. You could get this incredible explosion of creativity and success. Or you could get total, destructive chaos. Just constant infighting, ego battles, and power struggles. The whole thing could just implode.
So what's the deciding factor? What tips the scale from success to chaos? It all comes down to the leader. You need an incredibly strong leader who knows how to manage other leaders.
Someone who can take all those big ambitions and strong personalities and point them in the same direction, getting them to collaborate instead of compete.
So, when you put it all together, it's clear we've been asking the wrong question all along. Instead of asking, who are my A players?
Maybe the real question, the better question, is this. Am I creating a system where everyone has the potential to become an A player? See the shift? It moves the focus away from labeling and judging your people and puts it squarely on you, the leader, to build an environment where everyone can thrive. And that's a real game changer.